All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope that you were just about to explore different features, the varied features on our experiential platform. Keep doing all of that as you get some time, but right now we'll just concentrate on how everybody has access to data, and there are no gatekeepers that create a bottleneck at the gateway to the data. Now, this connotes that data should be accessible in such a manner that organizations can use it to expedite the decision making and also uncover possibilities, the opportunities for their respective organization, right? And yes, we did speak about agility as I welcomed all of you on the floor today, on the virtual floor today. So the goal is actually to have anybody use data at any time to make those decisions with no barriers to access or also to understanding for that matter. Well, Joyce L. Myers, the Chief Data and Analytics Officer, Director, AMCOM Data and Analytics Center, US Army Aviation and Missile Command, has actually virtually flown the skies to talk to you all on this very important aspect. So all the concentration levels right intact. Joyce, it's over to you.
Hello, my name is Joyce Myers, and I am the Director of the United States Army's Aviation and Missile Command Data and Analytics Center. I want to thank all of you for taking time to attend today, and thank you for inviting me to participate as the keynote speaker. Today, we're going to chat about data democratization. What is data democratization? That is a long and big phrase that perhaps we understand, or maybe we don't. Maybe we've heard the word data literacy. The two of those, data democratization and data literacy, are both very common phrases in society today, in the workplace and corporate, in the Department of Defense. But do people really truly understand what that means and how that relates to them and what that value of those definitions can mean? So both of those phrases are about ongoing processes that make sure every single person in an organization, regardless of their job, whether they're at the executive level, whether they're a mid-manager, whether they're a worker out on a production line, or an administrative support typing on a computer every day. Every single person in an organization should be comfortable with data, using data, understanding data, being able to read and write data, and then share the information from that data from a point of view that is contextual. If we understand data, then we're able to use that to provide information to our leaders to be able to make decisions. If we don't have that comfort, if we're not comfortable using data, then perhaps we aren't as effective at our jobs. So how do we become comfortable? How do we as leaders, co-workers, employees, teachers, how do we in our lives become more comfortable? I'm going to take this from the approach of being a leader in our organization, or even just a member of a team. First, you have to kind of envision. You have to buy into the fact that data is in fact important in our day-to-day lives. We use data for every single thing we do. If we're logging onto our computer and we've saved favorites, that becomes a data set. If we're logging onto our television and we've chosen favorite television series or movies, and our streaming device recommends what we would like to view, that is based on our data. If we log into an internet shopping site and it recommends things that other people have viewed based on your selection, that's based on data. So we're really much more comfortable with data than we probably already realize. But oftentimes people think of data as ones and zeros, or this obscure information that's in a database, in a computer server, in a large computer farm. But today, data can be unstructured as well as structured. If you've ever typed a comment inside of a data form on a computer, or you've ever filled out a form and it's allowed you to put text data in, that data also becomes unstructured data that, when put together, allows us to create a more comprehensive set of data that we then can use to make informed decisions. So are we using these decisions for what? Perhaps we're using these decisions to choose the television show we want to watch. Maybe we're using this data to make a scientific decision and to determine how best to do our next scientific research project. Perhaps this data set, both structured and unstructured, is to allow our business department to understand how much money we should invest for the next fiscal year. So each step of this data really has to be something that matters to us in order for it to truly be, for us to truly become data literate and for data to be democratized within our organizations. So if our leadership envisions that we are truly going to become a data literate organization, we're going to truly embrace the democratization of data, treat data as an asset, not just the dollars in and dollars out, but use our data as truly an asset within our business model, then we do that buy-in, we create that strategy, whether it be at the executive level or any level within the organization. If you're a 4-person team and you generate an Excel spreadsheet or perhaps a PowerPoint or any product in which you use that to make a decision, you're already starting to have a data strategy. Once we've envisioned that, we know the path we want to go as regards to how we want to be comfortable with our data, how we want to use our data, how we want to truly embrace the use of data in our day-to-day lives, then we want to engage those around us, right? We want those people to come with us and become champions of the data, not necessarily our technical team, not necessarily the people who have the word data in their job description, data scientist or data analyst or data visualization, because we all truly have data related jobs, but they may not be named that. So everybody can be a champion at all levels, at all positions, regardless of what it is we bring to the company. We can bring value added through data. We also want to engage out across our entire organization and encourage people to be part of it, right? We want to encourage everybody to embrace the data, to come to a common understanding, to help build that culture across our organizations, across our teams, to truly understand that if we democratize data and we make data and we make sure that that data is something that we're all comfortable with, regardless whether it's intense and being used for algorithms or artificial intelligence, machine learning, some of the really in-depth analysis, or whether it's a simple analysis, just wondering and looking to see whether we've gone up or down or met our goals that month. If we can become comfortable with it and we can encourage everyone to come forward and become a champion, and that everybody's idea, right? It's the art of the possible. The folks that are on the computers that are using this data, that are creating this data, may have a really excellent idea about, hey, if we added this and this together, we could do so much better in this business area based on what they see day to day. So we truly want to envision, we want to encourage, we want to engage. But again, not everybody has a data background. So we're also going to want to educate our workforce to truly, again, embrace that democratization of data, to whether it be structured or unstructured, to really improve that literacy across our command. And that can be as simple as one-on-one sessions. It can be as simple as a small article each month on a data-related topic. It could be a full organizational assessment of where each person sees their data skill and where they see their gaps. And if we give our coworkers and our employees and our peers the opportunity to participate in an organization-wide survey to say, you know, I could really use a lot more training in this area, or perhaps I've heard of this, but I don't really know what it is, and I'm intrigued. And I think if I were to learn it, I could be so much more productive in my day-to-day job, and that my output would be better, which could improve the output of the business overall, or perhaps even just bring that personal value to know that what you're doing is really truly validated by the data behind it. We also want to, again, empower our folks, our people, our coworkers, our peers, even ourselves. With the education that we learn, if we build a program, there's a famous movie quote, "If you build it, they will come." So if we build a data literacy program, we appropriately assess our educational needs of our employees, and we build a program for that, then what we've done is we have now empowered our workforce and our peers and our teams and ourselves to be so much more comfortable using data, and not just saying, oh, you have to go talk to the data person. We are all that data person. When we've done this, these are slow steps, right? But perhaps they're all happening in parallel. They're not necessarily sequential. They can happen at all levels of our organizations. They can also be influenced by our external partners. So not only do we have people within our organization that can champion, we also have external partners. We have shareholders or stakeholders. We have our family members either who might encourage us to take on a new skill and learn something new. We have multiple opportunities across this footprint, within the data footprint, to learn and grow as much as we can. So if we choose to put in a formal structure, if we choose within our organization to approach this from a formalized structure, and we establish a data and analytics center, much like my command has done. They've chosen, they have a vision, they've created a strategy, they've appointed a position to help provide that oversight and guidance. And so we're working together to very much implement that vision and strategy, to encourage our employees, to educate our employees, to empower our employees. And then the employees are coming back to us with these amazing ideas and this great attitude of, how can I be part of this? How can I make this better? I have a question about this data. Who would I talk to about it? So we've already created communities of practice and abilities to share lessons, and it becomes a much more collaborative organization. And we don't have pockets and silos of data. Now we have shared data across our organization. It's visible to our workforce. People are able to access this data, able to view it, and have a much more comfortable engagement with the data. And if there are questions, if there are concerns, if there are difficulties understanding it, then we are able to help because we've come to a practice. So what I would like to say is, as you embrace data democratization, as you learn and create a data literacy program, if these are things you choose to do, I remember the letter E. We're going to envision, we're going to encourage, we're going to engage, we're going to empower, we're going to educate, and we're going to evaluate, right? Because we may not get it right. This is an iterative process. We want to make sure that throughout the entire thing, the people are our focus. Because if the people understand and embrace it, if the people truly want to be a part of it, they will come, and we will be able to have a fully successful, very powerful tool with data as an asset. Thank you so very much for your time. I really appreciate your giving me this opportunity, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your time at this summit.
Joyce, I'm sure we we can now derive meaningful value out of data and become a data powered enterprise. You spoke about making decisions with the help of data, so that seems more sorted for us. Thank you very much again to you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, if I were to do a build up for our next session that's coming right up, I would say that it may not be the prime time right now, but the edge is ready for prime time. A fireside chat is coming your way, so stay tuned. We will just be right back. Please keep building up your leaderboard scores, explore the engagement zone, explore the features, fill in the feedback forms. I'm sure something that comes to your mind by now. So all of that, I'm leaving up to you. We will just be right back.